My name is Jason J. Rock Houston. Tonight we're speaking with guitar player Glenn Rogers. And Glenn, last time I talked to you, you were with the band Heretic. So I guess a good point to start this interview off is why you're no longer with that band.
Well, hey, Jason. Well, you know, the thing is, it was just kind of time for me to move on. To be honest, things weren't, kind of clicking with me and some of the members in the band. So I kind of felt it was just maybe time to take a break. And, also I was kind of doing some physical injury issues. I'm still dealing with a wrist that has torn cartilage and stuff. So
sorry to hear.
I needed to take a break.
Sorry to hear that. Now, as far as your injury, has that affected your playing any?
Yeah, actually, pretty much a lot, because it's really difficult to hold the guitar in the right position for the fingering, and making solos and stuff like that. So it really was very difficult, So it looks like I'm probably going to have some minor surgery, and I'm planning to do that in March, But I'm still playing through the pain, and doing the best I can. But it has affected some of my chops, that's for sure.
And now the reason we're talking tonight is I seen on your Facebook page, Glenn, that you have a new band called Primal Affliction. Is this a project you formed your own, or a pre-existing band that you've joined up with?
Well, actually, what it is my old bandmate from Heretic, Jorge Icabilas, he got together with Alberto Zammerbite, a friend of his from Argentina, who was a really big, actually legendary vocalist down in South America from the band V8 and the band Logos.
Okay.
So in America, we're not really familiar with South American and that scene down there, but they're huge down there. So they decided to put a band together, and they got Sandy from Bloodlust to play bass, and a guy named Wagner, a friend of Jorge's, to play guitar, and they wanted to fill up the sound, and we're looking for some songwriting. So Jorge hit me up, and thought I would be a good fit, and so I basically went and jammed with the band, and we've been working ever since. What capacity I can play, I'm doing more songwriting and rhythm playing than a lot of soloing right now because of my injury. But we got some songs. We did Afflictions, which is the first song that we did a demo of. Just kind of wanted to, get it out there, let people hear what the band's like, and it's a little more of a commercial edge, but it's still got heavy stuff in it, and there's more heavier songs as well. That was just kind of the first thing that came out, and we've been writing and getting ready to probably record sometime in February.
Wow, okay, because the single you guys have up, I was listening to it. It sounds, it's still got quite a bit of a heavy groove, but I would say it's not quite as heavy as Heretic. It almost sounds like a little bit to me like kind of classic Armored Saint. Would you say that's a fair description?
Yeah, that. Some people say Judas Priest. It's the thing is with Primal, it's very different when you're working with a singer who is very melodic. I mean, you can tell that the guy's got a great voice. So you kind of have to write differently than you would with like a Hyrax or even Heretic. Which you kind of have to be a little more riff-oriented, and you got to kind of fill it up, But with a Beto, that's what we call him, he's a really good singer and great range. So, that's kind of why, we have to write in the sense to leave room for the vocals to do something. And
so, like, when you guys are recording, taking into account your injury, you allowed the ability to just kind of go at your own pace, and as long as music comes out sounding the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. The thing is, we take our own time. We have our own rehearsal studio, and honestly, I got a backlog of material because when I was in Heretic, I was kind of taking a little bit of a backseat, letting Brian, that's his band, be the main songwriter. So I would contribute riffs and stuff, and that was always fun. But with Primal, I'm actually doing lyric writing as well, and so I get to write complete songs, and the other guys are great songwriters too. So, yeah, we get to take our time and really, craft the tunes the way we like them.
And what's it like for you to write the lyrics? I mean, because again, you're not the singer, and typically, I'd imagine when you've written in the past, you've mostly written like guitarist. Is that the first time you've done that as far as writing the song lyrics?
Well, no, not really. I've been a lyric writer pretty much my whole career.
Okay.
It's just that with most of the bands, you got to deal with singers and what singers like, and so the opportunity to write lyrics just didn't exist for me with bands like Hyrax, because that's kind of Caton's deal. When I was Steel Vengeance, I did a lot of lyric writing back in the early 90s and the end of the 80s, I do sing too, so
okay.
The idea with this project is Beto was open and he wanted to hear what I had to say with the song, and he liked some of the words, so he wants to use them. So it's a real team effort, and it's just fun to be able to contribute, as a lyricist, because I know I'm not known for it, but I can write and I have done it before.
And so, being a guy that writes, and you're like you said, you sing too, but that's not something you're typically known for. So, I was kind of interested, like when you write lyrics, do you kind of write with the vocalist in mind, or even just being the guy that writes the lyrics, do you kind of have a vision in your mind of how you want the song to sound like, or do you allow the singer to kind of take it upon himself to interpret your lyrics in his vision?
Well, I kind of do this as, I sit down and I basically write the riff and the songs first, all the music. And then I sit back and I'll record it and I'll listen to it, and then I'll basically hum along and, start coming up with an idea, like a song title. Then the lyrics start coming. I basically, pen it right there, and basically like with Beto, I sit down and say, I'll sing it to him, hey, this is what I have. And it's up to him what he wants to do with it. It's up to to pretty much any singer I work with what they want to do with it. So it's like you can cut the lyrics, you can add lyrics, subtract lyrics. It doesn't really. I'm not married to it. Like I don't get offended and say, hey, this whole verse sucks, dude. I want to write something else. I'm like, go right ahead.
Yeah, but like.
So it doesn't bother me,
Let me ask you, but like, as the creator, the guy, is writing these words, how blown away, like, are you, like, when the guy is performing, the words you created, so to speak, and you, like, hear this just amazing song? It must be just such a amazing feeling. Oh man, that's my song. That's the song I created, or that I wrote those words, and man, I love the way this guy's delivering it.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I was with Steel Vengeance, if you ever hear the CD Live Among the Dead, there's a song called In for the Kill that is a real good thrash tune, but I just love the way that tune came out. It's really great when you have a vocalist that can do a lot of things and have a lot of range. It makes it so much easier because they have a natural ability to come up with their own interpretation, and it can hit notes that there's no way I can hit because I'm not a singer, in the sense of the lead singer. So they can take it to other places that's just, I love it, it's great.
And so, as far as Primal Afflictions, is this right now just kind of a recording project? You guys are doing album, or are there any plans to tour behind it?
Yeah, there's going to be, I think what we'll do is probably after the record's out, we're going to see what comes available. We might take it to do like festivals in Europe. I know South America is a lock. We'll definitely hit Mexico and Argentina, of course, and a lot of those areas, because that's where the bread and butter of band is. And kind of my deal is that to introduce the band to the States. So hopefully we'll do some LA, and whether opportunities come to us, we'll see what we can do and get out there and play.
And is the plan right now, once the album is recorded, you guys plan to release it yourself, or you plan on shopping around to see if you get signed to a label?
Yeah, I think we're gonna shop it because we feel, and I still feel that record companies have some value out there. Still, they can get you into avenues that just offering it on the internet can't.
Yeah.
Plus, they have connections into festivals to help promote it. They'll get behind, a band at least for a little while, until the next band comes along that they want to push. But they have the infrastructure that it's just somebody self-releasing that doesn't have.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a beauty if you release on yourself, but that you got that creative control, and you don't have a guy in a suit telling you, go back. I don't hear a single or whatever, but go back and write me a single or a hit song. But at the same time, if you get behind a pretty successful label that can package a band the right way, they got a little more money than and a band's not constantly spending their money trying to get the product out there. So it kind of goes both ways there, I guess.
Yeah, the thing is, well, in metal, most of the metal labels, they'll stay out of your way musically. Yeah. They'll let you know if something's really bad, obviously, but they pretty much creatively, they don't stand in your way. They pretty much will let you do what you do, and because they wouldn't sign you if they didn't believe in you.
Yeah.
That's kind of the bottom line.
And Primal Affliction, I just love that title. How did you guys come up with that?
Well, Afflictions is the track.
Okay.
That's basically Beto's deal. He wrote that, and as far as like the lyrics, when I came into the project, he kind of already had that written. So it's just I came into the beginning of the recording process. So it's all on him. He thought of it.
So he's kind of a main guy. And is this a project where you're definitely part of it, but you might not necessarily play on every single track? It's kind of just they'll have different guys on different tracks, or will it be a different touring band, or how's what's that process going to be like?
No, it's a full band. We got a full lineup, and we're doing all the recording. So
okay.
At first it was the idea for Beto was to do a solo project, but it just turned into a band because me and Jorge have played and toured with Hyrax for many years, so the chemistry's there, and with the other guys, it just clicked right away. So it's like, well, this is going to be a group, it's got to be. So that's it. We rehearse twice a week, and because he lives in Miami, when he flies in, we work with him and do everything else over the internet.
And would you say with this band it's not as much pressure as maybe with Heretic or your other band Hylax? Because with those other two bands, their bands have been around a while, and it's part of it is you're trying to keep a legacy going and the fan base going. But this is something you're starting, new and fresh, and so there's not that much pressure except for trying to get the band out there.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's kind of cool because I really don't have to sit through and grab a bunch of old records and try to sift through somebody else's songs and try to figure out how they play it, So from that aspect, yeah, it's cool. There's every song I just come up with what I do and that's it. So from ground up, that's what's exciting about it.
And it sounds like you guys don't live down the street from each other. You're in different parts of country. So like as far as recording, do you guys do it the modern way where everybody kind of records their little demos in their own home studios or whatever, and you kind of send tracks to each other, and everybody kind of puts their little piece on each track, and you piece it together?
No, actually, well, the thing is, it's only the singer who lives, in Miami. And actually, like I said, he flew in. He'll come over to LA, and the rest of the guys are here locally.
Oh, okay.
So we did everything here, actually.
And so it sounds like you guys do it kind of the old school way where you record everything like as a live band in the same room together.
Yeah, pretty much. We do it. Of course, you break down the tracks separately. You do the drums first, and add on the guitars and add on the bass. But yeah, we're all together. Whole big long day of recording one tune. And that's kind of how it works. And when we get in to do the the rest of the record, same deal. We're going to go in and spend one weekend doing the drums and bass, and then go back the next weekend and finish up the guitars, and then vocalists will come in and sing, and we send it off to get it mixed. And
so I noticed you guys don't have you have a Facebook page yourself, Glenn. I noticed the band itself doesn't have a Facebook page or anything yet. Are there plans to get an official website or anything up in the near future?
Well, Yeah, there is. Actually, I started a Facebook group, so if you go to my page, you know, just look for Primal. I've been trying to promote it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, everything is pretty much coming, you know, from the beginning. You know, we're starting. It's all startup, so there will be websites, you know, and you know, all that stuff is coming. But right now, you know, our focus is mainly let's get the music and let's get it recorded. You know, next step is get a label, and then between all that, we'll get our photos and all our, you know, all the website stuff happening and get out and play some shows.
And as far as the music you guys are recording, is the plan to do like a full-length album, or you maybe going to record like a 4 or 5 track EP to kind of see what kind of response you get from the people?
No, we're going to do full length. We have more than 10 songs that are in the works.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's got to be full length, because the thing is, still this day when people buy CDs and when people market them, you know, you got to set a certain price, you know, and more people get bigger bang for their buck, you know, for a full length, rather than, you know, I'm going to pay $8 or $10 for 4 or 5 songs, you know.
Yeah, I love that, because you know, Glenn, I'm an old school guy. Sounds like you. As far as I still to this day, I love to have a physical CD in my hand. I mean, I love to just have it in my hand to look at the, you know, cover art and read the liner notes. You know, it's a shame. I mean, the music industry being what it is today. I mean, you know, when you and I were growing up, they had things that were called record stores. You know, what's a record store? And so I think it's great that you still, you know, putting out physical CDs as well as, you know, digital downloads and all that.
Yeah, you know, I prefer that. You know, I'm a computer novice, man. So half the stuff I can't even figure out anyway.
Yeah.
Download, you know. Yeah. Just give me my CD or my vinyl, and I do know that some record stores still, you know, they still exist.
Yeah.
I go to one near where I live called Bionic Records.
Okay, yeah.
Giving a plug, you know, because they're a cool record store. They have everything that I need there, and they'll order what I don't have, you know. So, and I support them. You know, I'll go there at least once or twice a month, and you know, buy a record, buy a CD. You know, lately I've been collecting Iron Maiden's picture discs, so I've got 5 of them. I think I got 2 or 3 more to go for their collection. Yeah,
and you know, I was reading, you know, the Iron Maiden stuff, the classic albums. They're planning to reissue those on vinyl.
Yeah. Well, they did on picture disc, and I've got those. I got, like I said, I got 5 of them. I think they did 7, the first 7 releases. So I think 2, maybe 3 more to go.
Now let me ask you, what do you think about that? Because you know, the last for years, you know, they had CDs. The CD kind of took over and killed vinyl, and it seems like vinyl's kind of making a comeback now the last couple of years.
Well, I think people miss the art.
Yeah.
You know, they miss the covers, and you know, man, it's cool having a record. It's still, I mean, CDs are cool and cassettes were all right.
Yeah.
But it's not like having, you know, 12-inch vinyl, you know, cover. You know, I mean, you always wanted, you know, as a musician, you wanted to see your face on the back of an album cover, or even the front. You know, you know, to that. Back in those days, that meant, wow, I made it. You know, I made a record. And so now it's like, well, what do you do with the digital download? You know, put it in your pocket?
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing, like, talking...
My career, you know?
I mean, it's amazing talking about a band like Iron Maiden, you know. I mean, a lot of people I know that had never even heard of Iron Maiden, a lot of kids back in the day just bought those albums because they thought that, you know, the mascot Eddie and the cover art looked cool. A lot of people never even heard of Iron Maiden. They thought, oh, you know, that artwork just looks so cool, man. I got to have that.
Well, that's how you bought records, man. You didn't hear them, you liked the cover. So,
yeah.
I mean, that was my early record buying experience too. You know, look at this band now. What a cool cover. I mean, that's how I got Killers.
Yeah.
You know, I never heard the band. All right, I'm picking this one up.
Yeah, I mean, I remember first time I seen like Kiss Alive, you know, Kiss Alive album, a double album opening that up. That, oh man, that's it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I know. Look at those demons, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I just can't believe it now. So, how far are you guys into recording this? You're kind of like, do you have a number of songs already recorded, or are you kind of is it a work in progress at this point?
It's a work in progress. We have 2 that are in the can. Like, Afflictions is out now for everyone to hear.
Yeah.
And we got another track that's going to be ready soon. like I said, we're pretty much in writing mode and working it all out. So, like I said, February will be most likely the start date of actually tracking the rest of the record. We kind of wanted to do 2 tunes, you know, just to kind of, you know, get it out there for people to hear.
And let me ask,
see, you know, what the response was, and you know, so far so good. People seem, you know, I haven't heard anyone say it sucked, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and the thing I love about, like I said, when I listen to what you have up right now, it kind of took me back to like old, you know, old '80s, classic '80s style metal, you know, and I have no problem with that because, you know, I hate bands that kind of try to sound like, oh, we're going to try to sound like Pearl Jam, we're going to try to sound like Metallica or whatever they think sound. I mean, that's obviously the music you guys grew up on, and it's great to see you doing that.
Yeah, to me, it's you know, it's just, it was kind of cool, you know, having, you know, there's no holds, you know, we're doing what we do, and, you know, the question for us is kind of like, well, do we want to go heavier? And to be honest, you know, it's like, I've already did the Hyrax thing, I did the thrash metal thing, and I love it, but, you know, I don't want to compete with myself either, so.
Yeah, I think
we'll have those elements in it, but, you know, it's just about, you know, writing good songs and seeing where it goes.
Yeah, I think that's a good point you just made there, because that's the thing I was going to say. You could have taken it in that direction. Say, you know, coming from these other 2 bands, I'm going to do another, you know, real heavy type of, you know, project. And I think it's cool that you kind of went the other way and not necessarily had to repeat what you've done before.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the thing is, in music, you know, you with those type of sounds, you know, you got 2 chords that you rely on, you know. It's just, let's try a different key once in a while, you know. Try a clean guitar part here and there, you know. So it's still heavy. It's still, you know, borderline a little bit of thrash elements, you know. That's always going to be there, but it's nice having some melodic, you know, and having a singer who can pull off the melodic part is so cool. Yeah. You know, I'm really happy about that.
And so, since you got that fan base, like you were saying earlier, Glenn, down in South America, because your singers from down there, I imagine you have no trouble getting gigs there. But the trick would be kind of, like you said, to getting people around the States to take notice in, you know, other parts of the world.
Well, that's why I'm hoping that people will realize, you know, that hey, that, you know, the past kind of comes and helps. You know, you know, me and Jorge were from Hyrax. I played in Heretic and all those old bands that, you know, they'll say, well, you know, all right, let's give these guys a chance, you know. And Sandy was from Bloodlust and played with Neil Turbin, so you know, there's maybe a reason to come see us. You know, that, hey, that these musicians have, you know, done a few things, you know, other than just play local bars, you know, the whole life. So hopefully they'll connect to that and listen to the songs and realize it's a good band, and you know, let's go check it out and show some support.
And so, is there a projected release date you guys have yet, or is it kind of like you said? I guess it's a work in progress, and it'll be done when it's done.
Yeah, I think. Well, the plan is definitely 2015 this year sometime. Okay. It's just a matter of you know, what label and when. Like I said, when we get to the recording process, you know, finishing it up, you know, maybe probably by summertime. You know, I'm guessing.
Yeah, if you don't mind me getting a little personal, talking about your injury for a minute. So hopefully I would assume the plan would be to hopefully be doing shows by the summer. So is the plan to hopefully that you'll have had your surgery by then and hopefully be almost fully recovered to be able to do these shows?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm going to be scheduling surgery in March to fix the torn cartilage. Basically, it's a scope surgery like most of your athletes get, where they go in and clean out all the debris and scar tissue, and that's what they got to do. It'll take me, according to my surgeon, between 6 to 8 weeks to fully recover. So basically, you know, that's March and April is, you know, I should be done recording, and then I can just sit and relax and heal. So that's the plan.
And as far as you know, during your downtime, you know, your recovery, whatever you want to call it, have you talked to a doctor? You are you going to be able to play practice or anything at all? Or are they going to recommend you stay away from playing until you're totally?
No, I'll have to, you know, I'll just have to kick back. I mean, it's just the way it's going to have to be. So during that time, I will be, watching TV and sitting at my desk at my work and, staring at the computer. It's going to be boring.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because I guess whatever is going to help, with speedy recovery. But how hard is that going to be? A guy that makes his living playing the guitar to not be able to pick that thing up, and you're going to have to find other things to occupy your time.
That's going to suck, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and so now let me ask you: you considered the lead guitar player in this band, or how do you guys go about splitting the guitar parts? Is it just a matter of whose song it is and that?
Oh, kind of. It's kind of Wagner. He's the young gun. He's the one with all the modern melodic arpeggio riffs. He's a really great player. So yeah, it's going to depend on the tune. We're kind of not really half and half, but it's really, like I said, right now I'm not really concentrating on solos because it's hard when you got an injury to do things like that. I'm playing chords, more support right now. I do have a few solos, but that'll all iron out in the studio. That's kind of the way it works anyway.
And I imagine it's great to have another guy, while you're going through this personal recovery, whatever you want to call it, that can kind of pick up the pieces while you're recovering.
Oh yeah, these are, I've always played with two guitar players anyways.
Yeah.
Very rarely were I in a band with just me as a guitarist. So, I'm kind of happy with that, actually, having someone who can carry the load, because it's one of those things that you just, you're a team.
It's all about teamwork. Yeah. There you go. Well, Glenn, it's been great talking to you once again. I really enjoyed talking to you. And I just want to say, please keep in touch, because once you get ready to release this album, I'd love to do this again and really help you guys get the word out about it and promote. Because I really the stuff you have up there, the two songs, I really dig what I've heard. I can't wait to hear the rest.
Well, I appreciate it, man, and hopefully everyone out there will find me on Facebook and find our little group that we started, Primal. It's just Primal, and check it out. I think you'll like it.
Okay, well, once again, Glenn, before we let you go, is there anything you want to say to your fans out there?
Hey, thank you for the support, and I'm going to keep rocking, and I'll be looking for you on the road.
Okay, and once again, Glenn, I want to thank you for doing this. I can't thank you enough. It's been great talking to you, just like it was last time. I really I want to get behind this project and do whatever I can to help you guys get the word out about it. So do keep in touch, and this will be going on our site in February, and I'll be letting you know the minute it goes up. And before I let you go, I just want to say I want to wish you all the luck with your recovery as well as this new project.
Well, thanks, Jason. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you supporting and keeping metal going, man. It's really cool.
Well, that's what we're here to do. So thanks again. This has been an interview for Riffs Magazine, and it'll be going up on our site in February. So we'll keep you guys posted. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
All right, take care.